Yo, hello, everybody. Welcome in. We are today doing a Dumpster Fire podcast. This is Ack, tuning in live from the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Welcome, everybody. We get nice and sitting proper on here. Welcome in. Since we are doing the podcast, I'm not going to be like super interactive with chat as I usually am, but I'm still looking at chat. I'm still seeing what you're doing, typing out. If you have any stories you want to share, any experiences, feel free to drop it down in the chat. I also don't feel very well, so I'm going to see how the stream goes. I'm doing my best. But I think I'll be okay, but we'll see. I don't know how long the stream will be, but I really wanted to do it. I'm sad that I don't feel good, but it's okay. You know, it happens. It happens. 1 second. I need to update something on YouTube, but you might hear myself. So I hate how on YouTube, I can't seem to pin the comment from my other chat. So I have to actually go onto the stream from YouTube, and then I have to try and pin it there. I used to be able to pin it just from my pop out, which is really weird that I can't do that anymore. Anyway, sorry about that. All right. Okay. Welcome everybody. Today we're talking about commission stories, and specifically of a awful horror variety. I've got a lot of them, and so it was a little bit difficult to try to sit down and figure out okay, which ones am I going to talk about. There are a couple of stories that I'm not going to be talking about today, but hopefully one day I'll talk about it. But there's just too many, and it sucks to say that. I don't know. It sucks to say that, but I'm gonna be talking about a couple that are funny and a couple that are really intense. You know, it's all good. You know, at the end of the day, we all good in the hood. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I'm excited to be talking about it. I love doing the podcast. I appreciate everybody who comes by and supports it. I haven't done a podcast episode since I aired the recorded one I did with my mom, and that was Mama Kōri. And that was before Fan Expo, so that was early November, I want to say. So it's been over a month. And I'm sorry. You know, it's funny because the podcast is one of the things that I say that I do when I talk about projects that I've worked on in my introduction, but it sucks because I haven't been able to consistently do the podcast as much since doing multi-streaming because I felt like it was a little bit complicated, and then I uncomplicated it for myself and was just like, Kōri, if you're gonna do it, just do it. Just have fun, you know. So that's what we're doing today, and I appreciate everybody who comes by and is interested in hearing these stories. Again, if you want to share any stories of your own, feel free to. I mean, I love to hear your comments and stories and any questions that you may have. You know, feel free to drop it in the chat. I'm not super interactive today since it is a podcast style, but I will be looking at it when I can. So anyway, thank you everyone for being here. I'm like I said earlier, I'll say it again just in case you're coming in now. I feel a little bit wacky today, so I apologize if I end up stopping streams sooner rather than later. I apologize if I sound low energy because I just don't feel good. So yeah, but I'll be all right. But thank you for coming by today. All right, let's get started. Let's get into the groove. Am I right? And then thank you everybody for being here. I see y'all in the chat. Thank you for coming, both YouTube and Twitch. Welcome in. Before we get super deep in the commission stuff, I'm gonna breeze through some of my announcements as I always do. But oh god, I'm just like a floating raccoon on the screen right now. Anyway, I was featured in a magazine called VTubers Online. Let me scoochie over so that way. Sorry. this VTubers Online. It was my pleasure. It was a great time. I talked about like VTuber Clipmas and what else did I talk about? The IRL events, going to Fan Expo and whatnot. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And if you are interested in any of those things, do check it out. It's a good time. All right, sorry. And I also mentioned before that I am gonna be hopefully revamping this podcast, Dumpster Fire. My idea is that I would like to have more guests on the podcast, and I know some people were around for like this conversation, but I basically talked about how I wanted to really look into different types of VTubers and potential guests, and I want to research like what I found special or interesting about like their content, and really feature that as they come on as a guest and ask them questions, and still have a good like other weird questions that just belong like on the Dumpster Fire podcast. Like I still want to keep that that vibe going of being a dumpster fire here, but I think I also want to have a little bit more structure when it comes to having guests on specifically, so I think that'd be really fun. Attending more cons, I will talk about that in a second. We've got the new game and album as a goal right now, and we're also going to be hopefully holding more special events like VTuber Clipmas, VTuber Valentine's. Talking about the cons that I'm going to Anime Gaming Con in February 3rd through 4th. It's the first weekend of February. It's in Fresno, California, and you can expect to see the booth and new merch and a bunch of free stuff and whatnot. So yeah. I'm also going to be going to Comic-Con in February as well. It is the second weekend of February. It's in Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. And I'm excited to be... Thank you so much, Comic-Con, for bestowing us a booth. We really appreciate it. And I'm so excited to go. K-San from VShojo was just announced as a guest there. They are attending in person. But I'm super excited to be able to go to a con that like another big VTuber is going to. I know it sounds maybe like awful, but it's just kind of cool to hear about. I don't really know much about K-San, so I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm hyped to be able to go to Comic-Con. And hopefully that means that more people that are familiar with VTubing are going to be there, because when I went to Fan Expo, there were definitely less people who knew what VTubing was, but that's okay. Anyway, okay, so I'm also going to be, I keep forgetting to update this, what is wrong with me? Anyway, I am going to be doing a panel at Cape Anime, which is in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. My panel is on the 9th, Saturday, March 9th, and it's going to be surrounding, like, introduction into VTubing, talking about, what is a VTuber and how you could potentially get into it as well. Because a lot of people, I would talk to the event staff and they mentioned that, like, they've never had a VTuber guest before, and that, the community probably isn't, like, familiar with VTubers, so I felt like it'd be cool to do that. I think my title for the panel, like, officially is, VTubing becoming your own anime or something like that. I just felt like it was cute, but that's why I decided to title it. Anyway, sorry. Aside from that, we're also going to Anime Minneapolis, and that is in May 24 to 26. You will find the booth there once again. Merch, free stuff, all that cool jazz. You like jazz? I'm also going to Annie Medford, and Annie Minneapolis is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Sorry. Annie Medford is in Medford, Oregon, and that's all the way in September 21st to 22nd. But thank you, Annie Medford, for bestowing us a booth. Very excited to be going. Any whoosies? That's my announcements. Oh, and then here's my calendar, really fast. I'll just flash it on the screen for you. We have Nicolas Cage movie night happening on Monday, every Monday of this month. I don't know which movie we're going to be watching. Oh my god, so funny, by the way. On my subscription service, I was like scrolling, and like, how like on Netflix they have like categories, or like like recommended for you, or like action, like trending movies and stuff like that. So then there was one that was like the Nick Cage collection, and I've never seen it before until literally last night. I was dying. I was like, oh no, I'm watching way too much Nicolas Cage. Anyway, so I think on Monday we'll watch and obviously we're gonna watch another Nicolas Cage movie. I feel like we should watch either National Treasure or this one called The Retirement Plan, but I'm not sure yet. There's also this cowboy-looking one that I really want to watch, too, so it might be that one, but there's just too many! Like, 1 month isn't enough, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, drink some water. Nicolas Cage is too strong. Okay, and then, very excited, I'm going to be playing one of my favorite games, Nier Automata, as well, because I'm going to the Nier orchestral concert. It's coming up, and I'm so excited to be going. I've literally been just like, the last several months, I've just been like quaking in my boots, like just thinking about it. So I'm really excited to be playing the game. I found my PS4 disc of Nier Automata. This is the one that I've had since like college. So, which it wasn't that long ago, but you know, it felt like a long time ago, and it's so exciting. When I put it in though, like my PS5 started to sound like my old PS4, like the jet, what is it called? The airplane jet? There you go. Sorry. That's what it sounded like. I was like, oh shit. Anyway, I'm sure we're fine. Okay. So that's what's going on. I'm also going to be doing a hand cam next week, and I'm excited because I get to show y'all some of the things that I've been working on. That if you can't go to like the cons, you can like actually get to see it, so that's pretty epic. And okay, that's all I can think of. All right. All right, let's get into it. What are you here for? You're here to talk about some commission stories that went pretty crazy. There's a lot. I'm gonna start with one that I thought was kind of funny. It's a quick story, but basically, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I also like have pictures for most of them, but I don't have like, I'm not gonna put any like screenshots of conversations or anything like that. I do have the conversations up on like my screen, but I'm not gonna do the screenshot thing. I will like read some of the things that they said though to give context, but aside from that, like I'm not putting that up. But yeah, anyways, if you're listening in, you don't need to see the screen. It's just for additive pleasure, question mark. Anyway, also, why is Axe so small on the screen? Speaking of visual pleasure here, okay, I need to see HD Ack Pudge. Okay. All right, so let's talk about this. So this is so here's something funny. So if you don't know who this is Kōri, the first Kōri the first, okay? And this was like one of the first sketches that I got of my first model. And when I got into VTubing, I must remind you, like, I didn't know that you could purchase like a designer, and I only knew of the model artists that were on Fiverr. I didn't know any of the Twitter ones. So I designed Kōri myself, and I sent my shitty ass design, which I have posted before, but I'm bringing it up because it's really like embarrassing. Anyway, I sent them my shitty ass design, and this is what they created. And the funniest thing ever to me was how big her hoo-has were. And I'm like, I didn't try to make her hoo-has that big in my shitty drawing, by the way, okay? Like, it was just like, these looked like ginormous to me, and like, you know, no shame, okay? I was just kind of like, this is not what I wanted, like, the character to be, you know? Like, I didn't want it to be super, I wanted it to be, like, there, but, like, not, like, there, you know what I'm saying? So, I was just kind of like, wow, these are huge, and so, this isn't so much a horror commission story, but more of, like, a funny humor commission story. This is what I could have looked like, was huge hoo-has, you know what I mean? Which is fine, again, I have nothing against it. But I was really surprised when I got this back. I was like, wait a second, we gotta talk about this, because this is a little too strong. Because yeah, it's kind of unfortunate too, because like I think when, oh my god, how do I explain this story? This one time I talked to somebody, and they asked me this question, and they were another VTuber. They asked me like, oh, what do you, I just like ask other people this question. I'm just curious, like what your answer is. Like, what do you like about my design? And I was like, oh, I like da 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 da. And then they're like, thank you. And then they're like, well, what I like about your model is your boobs. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. And I was like, all right, okay, I'm gonna go now. Anyway, so moving on. Let's talk about some bad ones here. We're gonna just zoom up. All right. So if you are not familiar, these well, the one at the very top, the one up here, at the very top, this is my old logo. This is the first ever Kōri-Oujo logo at the top here. These two other ones are, there's 3 total on the screen. The first one on the top being the logo that I ended up using, and then the last 2 are ones that I could have used as well, but I just didn't. And this was something I bought on Fiverr, and again, like, kind of my mistake, I guess. I didn't know a lot about, like, purchasing things on in general, like on freelance sites like Fiverr, and this commission was definitely a really bad experience for me, and I hated that a bad experience was connected to my logo, like something that I have to use like constantly. But it was a good learning experience because really I found out that that's kind of common. Like, it's actually more common than you think that, you know, there's a really bad experience that you have with the commissioner, and then you still have to live with the commission and pay them the money. And it's like, it happens a lot more than I initially thought it would when I got into VTubing, which sucks. It sucks to say that it happens a lot, but it is what it is. Anyway, so the whole thing that went down with this, like, it looks nice in hindsight, but there were a couple problems, and I'm gonna bring up this for reference right now, the conversation I had with them. But basically, I ordered this, let me see, oh my god, this was so long ago. I ordered this in like, September 8th, I ordered this, and when I bought this commission, it said delivery time would be 3 days, and by mistake for believing that on Fiverr, it's never really come true. But basically, they like, on the day that it was supposed to be delivered, they didn't deliver it, and was like, oh, can you give me like a little bit extra time? Like, I want an additional 1 more day to like maximize it. They said, I really enjoy the process. I hope you can help me. And I'm like, okay, sure. Like, thanks for letting me know. I'm looking forward to see it. And then we had to go through like this. They marked it as complete, or they like claimed that they delivered it on Fiverr, which was kind of weird. They didn't ask for, like, on Fiverr, what you can do now, and I don't know if at this time they didn't have this option, but on Fiverr, you're able to, like, the seller or the buyer is able to ask for additional time to add to the delivery time or delivery date. And instead of doing that, they marked it as, they sent what is this, a image of like, I need an extra hour, I hope you can help me, 1 day extra for the best and perfect logo. Like, they just sent images of that, and marked it as like delivered. So I was like, okay, well, it's whatever. So then the next day happens, and it's like towards the end of the day, and I'm like, oh, hey, sorry to bother you, but I want to check in and see if there's any updates. Do you still need another day? Can you let me know, please? And a couple hours later, they're like, oh, your logo's almost complete, so please wait a moment, because I really enjoy the quality of the refinement process. You can click and select revisions for a fixed time. Thank you so much for your kindness. And I'm like, okay, well, thanks, and like, let me know if there's any other changes or updates. Like, I'm looking forward to it. And then the next day, like later on in the day, it's like nighttime again, and they're asking me for another revision request. And like, I wanted to ask for a little extra time because I really enjoyed your logo process. Your logo is almost complete. I like to post everything here on my order page, so I hope you can help me take a revision request for a little extra time. I'll send your logo as soon as it's finished. And a little bit more. I am so thankful for the help and kindness you gave me. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, that's fine, but like, could you tell me when I can expect the logos? Like, will it be tomorrow? I can't find anything on your page that tells me how long your revision period takes, so I'd really appreciate a definite date that I can expect the logos or at least progress photos. I hope that's okay. Thank you. Because now I'm getting worried because it's been now I think like 2 or 3 days after the expected delivery date. And I needed this. Like, one of the reasons why I purchased this person's commission was because I needed it within like a couple of days. So I was like kind of worried. And then they also marked it as delivered. So in Fiverr's like system, it will basically like close. It will mark the order as complete after like a couple of days automatically, if nothing else happens. So now I have to sit there and like worry about it being marked as complete even though I haven't actually gotten anything. So yeah, and then they're like, I only need 1 extra day. It's in the finishing stage, so after I finish it, I'll send it, and it will look perfect and maximal. I'm sure you'll like it. What does that mean? I don't know. I know that English isn't their first language, but still. Anyway, so then I'm like, okay, thanks. Looking forward to it. The logo tomorrow then. Good luck. And then the next day, hi, can you take a revision request? And I'm just like, what? Okay. So then I had to go back and forth with them because it wasn't working. Like, the request wasn't working. I said, like, I submitted it, like, 3 times now, and it doesn't seem to be working. And then they're like, no problem, like, thank you. And I'm like, sure thing. Maybe it's because it's been over 3 days or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, so, yeah, and then we just went back and forth a little bit more, and then I said if you could send it today, that would be really, really appreciated. I needed this logo 3 days ago, which is one of the reasons why I chose your service. Please, thank you. And then they're like, oh, I will give the best for all clients, including you, because for me, quality is the main thing, right? The main right for me. Please wait for it. Your logo is in the final stage. Later, you will like the result. Thank you so much for your kindness. Okay. So then, like, 8 or 9 hours later, they're like, hi, your logo is so perfect I created. I can't wait to send it to you. You must really like it. That's for sure. Wait a minute. I will send it soon. Thank you for your kindness, for your help, and give me extra time. I'm like, great. Like, looking forward to see it. And then they finally send it at, like, midnight. And I got it back, and I remember, like, thinking when I got it back, like, this is what you gave me? Like, it's crazy because, so, I'll show you an example later, but for every, like, commission that I've done, since the beginning, I, like, created a Google document of, like, here's the references, here's, like, here's some ideas, like, whether that be, like, a pose references, expression references, like, make sure to have both eyes present in the image, like, here's when I would like it, like, I lay out the project details, and I give a lot of, like, references and examples of things that I would want. And when I commissioned this, I knew that I was going to be getting 3, so I added a lot of, like, references and ideas for the logo. And when I got this back, and you can see it on the screen right now, when I got this back, I was pretty disappointed because, one, I was, like, waiting so long. Like I mean, I guess it's only, like, maybe to y'all from the outside looking in, it's like, okay, you only waited, like, what, 2 weeks? But I was supposed to get it in 3 days. And then, like, the back and forth, like, I don't want to sit here having to stare at my email to see if they messaged me. You know, it's like, I'm not your manager, you know, I'm your client. Why can't people just take care of their clients or be respectful of their time? You know what I mean? You'd find it's harder to find that than you think. It's very uncommon, apparently. But essentially, I saw this and I was like, this is pretty much the same logo. Like, it's not even that, like, I was hoping for a little bit more creativity to, like, with the different, I mean, I was getting 3, you know, and the first 2 look about the same, and then the last one's, like, the only, like, slightly different one, but even with that, like, it's still got the same, like, I don't know, it's, like, it's only moved around slightly, and the colors are different, and, like, I don't know too much about, like, text, logo, graphic design, but I was just, like, a little bit disappointed, and especially with, like, you know, they kept saying that the project was, oh, in its final stages, I'm almost done, oh, but I need another day, and it's just, like, they're so clearly lying, and I don't like it when people lie to me. You know, I'm just like, don't, come on now. So anyways, I left a 1.3 star review, which was one of like their worst reviews. And I think they blocked me after this too, which is funny. But I didn't know this until now, until I tried to look at their profile and I can't see anything. Anyway, so this is my review. I said, I tried to be polite and respectful, but overall it was an awful experience. At first glance, the logos are nice. However, I was shocked at the lack of creativity and attention to what I explicitly said in my order requirements form. I was pretty disappointed that despite the guidance I gave in my order, I pretty much got the same logo in different fonts. Oh, shit, bird! Sorry. I was planning a logo to come in within 3 days, but it took 2 times that time. I'm pretty disappointed in the final product, and I don't have enough time to wait another week for any revisions. Honestly, I just wanted to be done with the process. Sad that I had to write this review and have had such a bad experience connected to these logos. So there's the way that Fiverr breaks down the review is like there's seller communication level as 1, and you can rate that 1 out of 5. And then there's recommend to friend and service as described. And all those are the 3 categories in which you can rate 1 to 5 stars. And so the seller communication level I put at a 2 because, to be fair, they were like talking to me, but what they were talking about was like extending the deadline over and over again and blatantly lying about like, oh, I'm almost done with it. I'm almost done with it. Would I recommend it to a friend? Absolutely not, because it took way too long and there was the way that they talked to me and stuff like that. And then service as described. I mean, they literally said like in the description of the what do you call it? The order listing or like the product. I don't know what I'm sorry, but the commission details, I don't know, the order details, whatever, it says like on its page, like I'm gonna design like 3 unique, cute logos for you, and it'll come in like very quickly, kind of shit. Like it literally says like in 3 days. Like that's part of the reason why I purchased it. So yeah, and when I posted that review, they were pretty upset. They said, this was their response. We communicate with each other during the order process. Communication is carried out smoothly and routinely throughout the process. There are no obstacles involved between the seller and the buyer in dispute. I asked for an extension of approximately 3 days to solidify the VTuber logo design, which is a lie, because I prioritize the best VTuber logo design for my clients compared to the rush process and doesn't guarantee the design results. Okay, so why are you describing the service as it's going to take 3 days? Both parties between me and the client mutually agree and accept the extension of time. What was I supposed to do? I couldn't. What do you want me to say? No, and then you not deliver it? You marked it as delivered. Like I was at your disposal here because you already according to Fiverr's system, it thought that you delivered something, but what you delivered was a JPEG image that said, "I need an extra day." Okay, and that was like a week ago. Anyway. But lastly, I received a bad feedback on my design results and communication for the first time from many of my clients, which is a lie. There was another one. I'm very sad to accept this client's ratings, which in fact, this ratings is contrary from my best for my client. Yeah, I don't know. It was just like funny to hear them say that and not just like, I don't think they changed their listing either, like to fit like, okay, is it going to be in 3 days or not? You know what I mean? But if that's what you're selling, you know, if you're advertising that you're going to get it done in 3 days, then you should do it in 3 days. Like, you can't say, oh, well, it's because I'm trying to, like, focus on the design and shit like that. It's like, okay, well, then you wouldn't have something for 3 days, you know? Like, okay, then you would probably take a little bit longer, you know? And that's okay if you do that. But don't advertise it like you're not going to do it quickly. So I don't know. That was really dumb. And then like just the back and forth was really annoying. Like I don't want to sit here having to babysit you and constantly be like, it was, I mean, you heard the conversation. There was like four or five times that they had to like ask me for an extension, and they said the same thing every time. It's like, do you even realize what you're doing? It's not even just like the language barrier. No matter what language you're speaking, what you keep doing is asking for an extension and saying that it's going to be okay. Like that it's almost done. You said it's almost done every time you ask for an extension. Like, do you not see what the problem is there? So when I got this logo, I was pretty pissed. I was like, I don't even want to use it, but I can't use anything else. So I was just like so tired of that situation. It was like the worst. And it sucks because at the time, like I didn't speak out about it why would I wasn't gonna try to get a refund or anything like that. I just left it at that. You know, it's whatever. It's funny because they gave me a 5-star review because apparently I forgot that they could do this, but sellers will give the buyers reviews as well, which is just funny. But yeah, so they gave me a 5-star and I gave them like a 1.3. Oof. Anyway, I was just being honest, okay? And I'm sorry, but it's just don't play with me like that. Anyway, so that's the logo story. Thank you, chat, for your comments. I have a Guchan saying, I communicated my incompetence to you promptly. Exactly. I communicated that I was shit at the job immediately. Don't worry. Oh my god. Serenity says, mutually agreed. They kept your logo hostage. Yeah, no, they did. I don't know. It was really dumb. I don't know. It was just, I understand if you need a little bit longer, but just be honest. You know what I mean? Like, literally, I've had to say that to someone before, and this has happened like a couple of times, but it was like the first time I had to be like, just be honest with me. So this one person, like, this is separate than from this one, but this one person kept like saying like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna get it to you soon, but like my computer's broken, basically, which is funny because like I've heard that excuse like at least 4 or 5 times now, like, oh, my RAM is busted, so I can't like do anything, or like my computer's taking forever, or it's broken or whatever, some shit like that. I've gotten that excuse many times, and this one particular person, like, they said it, and then like they said it again, and then they said something else. They said they're gonna deliver it, but then they didn't, and I had to keep checking on them, and then I was like, okay, dude, like, just be honest with me. All right, what's going on? And they're like, oh, sorry, like, I just got back from vacation. And I'm like, if you had just started, like, if you had, and it's funny because, like, I wasn't even in a rush to get the commission. It was just, like, so annoying because they kept saying they were gonna deliver it and, like, messaging me, and I'm like, okay, great, then do it. And then they don't, and I'm, like, sitting there, like, okay, well, where is it? And then getting, like, annoyed because you just keep telling me that it's gonna be done, but it's not. So then, like, oh my god, I was just getting so frustrated, so I was like, just be honest. And they're like, oh yeah, I was on vacation. Why did you just start with that? I'm okay with you taking vacation. It's not a big deal. I'm not gonna, like, tell anyone. I'm not gonna tell the police that you're taking a vacation. You deserve one. That's fine. But, like, just tell me straight up, I'm on vacation for 2 weeks. I'm not gonna be doing anything on it. I'm like, okay then. Why is that so hard? Why is the immediate gut reaction is to lie? I don't get it. It's just, just be honest with me. I can't get mad at you if you're telling the truth. You know what I mean? Anyway. Sorry, I'm gonna turn down this. I can't turn it down anymore, actually. Oh well, it's fine. Alright, it's just gonna be loud. Alright, what we've got next? Anyway, that's the logo story. Thank you. I'm so glad that I got a new logo after when I re-debuted. Like, I like it so much more, and I don't have that bad experience, so it's great. Okay. Oh god. Okay, so what I've got on the screen right now is a screenshot that was wild. And what it is the Fairy Tail Arc MV. It was one of the first drafts of it. Actually, this might have been the second or third one. But it is a screenshot of of the MV, and I circled in red watermarked effects. There's an effect that this MV person used that they didn't even buy the rights for. It wasn't even theirs. And then you can see the watermark for it. Okay, it is insane. Why would you deliver? Okay, so let me just talk to you about this whole experience, actually. Let me just start it from the bottom. Now we hear. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me pull it up. Okay, so here we go. This is buckle in, everybody. This is a doozy. So I reached out to this person, this MV, I don't know, animation person. I don't know what you call them, but this artist of some kind. I reached out to them in April of 2022, and I just was like, hey, I might be interested in getting like an MV commission from you. Can you tell me like what your prices are? And like, you know, because it wasn't on their site for whatever reason. I wanted to know more about like, you know, what it looked like and whatnot. And they asked me a couple questions like, well, what kind of like commission would you want? And then they explained, like, you know, how much it would be. And then I was like, okay, yeah, like, I'm doing something in May, so I wanted to get an MV, and I'll reach out to you soon about it, and then if I want to move forward. So they're like, okay. So then, like, in May, I reached out to them, and I explained that I wanted a complex MV, because with these MV animation people, you can get like a simple one, a complex one. Well, it depends on who you talk to, but like a general idea is like you get like a lyric video, a simple MV, a complex MV, and then there's like a super complex one, for example. I don't really know what it's called, but there's something else. But I got the complex one that I thought would work for what I needed it for. But anyways, I sent them the folder for all of like the information on it. All of my references and whatnot, all of the images that they should use. I even wrote out the script, like the storyboard for it, basically, like what images to use and whatnot for particular parts, because that was important to me. So really, like 25% of the work was done. Like 10, like, okay, maybe like 15%, but I like literally laid out exactly what I wanted. They didn't even have to come up with those ideas. You know, I already did that. I already scripted it for them. All they had to do was do it. Do it. Anyway. So then, you know, I asked them like for the price estimate. I told them that I wanted it by June 8th. And then they were like, oh, cool. For the deadline, do you mind if there's an extra fee? And I'm like, well, when would you be able to deliver it if I do not pay the extra fee? And they said, like, well, the comics video takes usually about like a month, 3 to 4 weeks. And I'm like, okay, so would June 17th or 18th work for you? Like, I'm not in a big rush. I was just guessing a date. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Again, this is like May 17th that I reached out. So I was like, maybe June 8th would be all right. Like, that's like 3 weeks or so. But they, you know, said 1 month. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Then June 17th or 18th. But it's just funny because, like, they just immediately went to, like, there's going to be an extra fee for that deadline. And I'm like, okay, well, what? Otherwise, like, why don't you just tell me, like, when could you get it done, so that way, like, I don't have to be sitting here, like, with an extra fee, you know? Anyway, so then I said that's fine. And then they wanted to give me like a preview first before I sent the payment. So I was like, okay. I explained a couple of things about what was on the document, and then they asked me questions about it, and then I was like, okay, there you go. And then they said that the MV was done, and then if you don't mind, you can send the payment now. And this was on June 16th. And I'm like, okay, like, sure. So then I sent that. I also added in tip as well. And then they said, thank you. That really helped me a lot to buy a new RAM for my PC, because my PC has an error yesterday because of my RAM. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Well, can you send the MV today? And they're like, yeah, of course. I'm rendering it right now and upload it to the drive. And I'm like, okay, great. The next day, hey, were you able to upload the video into Google Drive? Like, I'm really excited to see it. That's me. And then like a couple hours later, hey, sorry for the delay. My render is almost complete. It's at 90% because the particular video, it's really heavy. So, yeah, my RAM PC are a little error. So yeah, thank you for the patience. I don't know. English is not the first language. It's okay. And I said, okay, thanks. Looking forward to it. The next day, I'm like, hey, is the MV uploaded? Like, just getting a bit concerned since it's been a whole 24 hours since I last heard from you. Sorry to bother, just worried. And he's like, oh, sorry, I forgot to send it to you. Oh, totally. And then sent me the link. And then was like, sorry for the trouble. I think my internet went down before the message failed. So the message failed to send. And I'm like, okay. Thanks for sending. I have a couple of visions after watching the video. So there's what you see on the screen right now is one watermark that honestly wasn't even that bad. There was more. There was another watermark that was so clearly on the screen that, like, you couldn't make it up. Like, it was just so clearly on the screen, and I'm like, how do you miss it? Like, this is not that bad. This is me being generous by showing this screenshot. I have another screenshot where it is like, it literally looks just like a pattern on the screen, and I'm like, you don't just miss that? I don't know. It literally says cross sphere all over the screen. all over the screen it says crosssphere, crosssphere, crosssphere. Over the text, over the background, it's like the entire thing says it. And I'm like, huh, interesting. Anyway, so then I'm like, I noticed this watermark. I'm not sure what it is, but it shows up twice in the video. And then I talk about like, okay, as I mentioned on the Google Doc, I wanted the other pictures that I added to the Google folder to be in the second verse. I didn't specify which one because I believed you could have made a choice based on your editing process. So at around 54 seconds in, when the second verse begins, please add the other picture assets I sent. And I sent a screenshot of my document where I say in the second verse, switch back to what is used for the first verse, can start using the other anime character assets. So I made it clear, and it's on the document. But in the video draft that they sent me, this is apparently their final video, by the way. This is the finished video, is what they sent me, which is insane. Your finished video has watermarks all over it, and then didn't even follow the prompt that I gave you. So, anyways, there was that. They didn't follow the directions there, and then I also said what was it? Right now you started. Oh yeah, the lyrics were off. It wasn't even like the lyrics were going on the screen like either at the wrong time or whatever. I just remember the lyrics were being off. And then I also explained like how I wanted different tones in the video. I wanted because if you've heard it, it's for Fairy Tale Arc, right? And if you've heard it, the beginning, like the first couple choruses are like sad, you know, and I wanted like sad, dark, gloomy, gray colors for the beginning. At the very end, I wanted it to be like bright, sun shining down, happy colors. But then in the draft or the final video that he sent me, it was like there was no difference in like color correction or anything like that. And I could do that, man. I could do that. I know how to do that, you know, with Premiere Pro. Like, it's not that hard. So I thought it was a little bit crazy that, and I even said that, by the way, I said that on my document. I said, continue to use this image where she's crying, but at the end of this part, I want there to be a clear transition of sad images to happy images and colors. So I made that clear as well in my document. And then the font size was like tiny, and like he put it over the hair. Like, okay, it was white font that was put over like basically white hair, and I'm like, I can't even see the font. I can't even see the lyrics. And then during the bridge towards the end of the song, they just put like a huge paragraph of the text and didn't do anything else. And I was like, what is this? Like, they just copied and pasted like the bridge itself, like all into this one text box, and it was just the whole thing there, and it was like just all these little tiny words, and I'm like, what? Anyways, so then I said, in general, it would be great if we could also have more movement. I really liked how dynamic the MVs I saw on your commission page were. Used a lot of cool backgrounds and scenery, and the text would move on the screen in different places. For example, this video. And I sent them a video that they worked on that I really liked, and it was part of the reason why I reached out to them specifically and asked them to work on this, because it was super dynamic. There was all of these movements and like backgrounds and scene transitions and changes. Like, it looked really great. And I said, like, I really like what you did here with this MV, but looking at what you sent me, there really isn't any of this cool transitions and movements. I was under the impression that this is the level of quality I'd be getting when I ordered and paid for this complex MV. And they were like, okay, oh, for the 3D movement and stuff like that, it's because the client wanted the full complex MV with 3D. And basically, the movement there is just zoom out and in sliding, not too complex. But if you want to change the movement, I'll try to change some of the scene. And I'm like, and then they send me this shit that's like, MV has 4 tiers. Simple, semi-complex, complex, which is including animation character if needed, complex compositing, for example, color grading, particular, etc. And then there's the full complex, where there's a lot of elements like 3D if needed. And I'm like, so when somebody asks you for your prices and like a breakdown of what you do, because it's not on your website, and I even said that to them, why are you not breaking that down when they ask you what your prices are? Because this is what I don't like about a lot of like the MV people that I used to reach out to, was that on their website they never had their prices, or if they did, it was like, you know, some of them but not all of them. And then like they didn't really explain. They just had like references, basically. Like, here's some of the other videos I've worked on. And of course they put videos that they did for like Niji Sanji, or videos that they did for, you know, V-Shoujo or what other Phase Connect agency. And it looks great because they paid $1 million for it. But then you ask to get a commission from them. And if you only give them, you know, if you're like, well, you know, what is it? And they tell you it's $200, and you're like, okay, so that sounds great. Now I'm sitting here expecting I'm gonna get a Niji Sanji level MV, and they send me watermarked effects and Crosssphere, basically a video made by Crosssphere here with the amount of watermarks that are on it. I was like, huh, that's really weird. That's really weird how that works, huh? It was just like kind of like annoying, and it's like, you know, I wouldn't have known because you didn't tell me, even though I asked you. Like, if I had known, like, okay, if you wanted this kind of MV, this is how much it is, like, because this is how my tiers are, then I would have been like, okay, let me buy that then. But you didn't specify that with me. You didn't tell me jack shit. You just like, what did you want? Okay, yeah, it's probably like this much. It's like, when I ask you a question, why aren't you ready? Like, just give me the fucking answer, man. Break it down for me. I don't know anything about your business. Why do you think I assumed that shit? And then, like, again, this is a person that just had that video one of the videos that I really liked, and the reason why I commissioned them, it was one of their featured videos. So I'm like sitting there like, oh, well, you know what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean? It looks great. So why is it that, like, you don't make it clear, like, you know, if your tiers, you know what I mean? Like, why is that not clear? You know, because of course you're going to put your highest tier up, but why don't you tell me that? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's really annoying. And I don't know if it's like a thing where people just don't think that you can afford it because you're just like some small indie VTuber. I mean, it makes no sense to me. I really don't understand it. Like, why can't you disclose to me your prices? Why can't you just tell me? Like, it's in DMs, by the way. It's not like I'm out here on Twitter trying to call you out for your prices. I'm just trying to understand. Like, this is your business. You need to be able to communicate your business to me. And it annoys the shit out of me when I'm like over here thinking I'm gonna get a high quality piece of shit work, and I just get a piece of shit work. You know what I mean? Anyway. So anyways, then we had to go back and forth, and I was like, okay, thanks. And by this point, it is the 18th. This is June 18th that we go back and forth. So then the next day, I'm like, hey, it's been a little over a day. I sent over the revisions, and I just want to check in. When will the MV be complete? The next day after that, so that was June 19th. June 20th, they're like, oh, sorry for the late response. Like, for the revision, I'll be starting again tomorrow because I'm still doing another commission too. Is that okay? And like, this is my thing. I've heard this excuse before, and it kind of annoys me. Like, if you have other commissions that you have to do, I get it. But I've been sitting here for a month, and you told me it's going to be done by the 18th, and it's not done. And I already waited it 24 hours, and now you're saying that you responded to me late and saying that you got to do another commission. That sounds like a you problem, honey boo boo child. Like, you took my money already, which I'm sure you probably took theirs too. But that's your own problem if you don't know how to manage yourself, okay? But you need to take care of your clients. And I've been sitting here waiting, and you're still not giving me a goddamn shit. You know, and it just, like, pisses me off. So anyway, I hate that excuse. Like, it's just stupid. So then I'm like, okay, well, do you have a specific date that you'll be done with it? Because, like, I know that we have time differences, but I'd appreciate an exact date that you'd be done. They're like, okay, maybe, like, the 23rd of June. And I'm like, the 23rd? That's another 3 days. I'm like, are you, like, finishing their MV? Like, why don't you need to finish the one that you already are almost done. Like, the revisions I had, I didn't feel like it would even take that much time, but I don't know. You know, I don't know. I can't say that it will or it won't, but I know that it's not a full MV that I'm asking for you to redo. You know what I mean? So then I said, like, okay, we agreed that the deadline would be on June 18th, so I was under the impression it would be finished by then. I already paid for this as well. I don't think it's fair to prioritize another MV while we're past the deadline for mine, so please just send it as soon as possible, preferably by the 21st because there still may be more revisions. And then they're like, my apologies before, it's just beyond my expectation before because there's a lot of problem there, and yeah, I'll send it ASAP, maybe tomorrow because it's already 12 a.m. here. Do you mind of it? And my body already dropped 3 weeks ago, so I should manage my time for doing works. Thank you for your patience, by the way. I'll try my best to rush all of the project. That's what they said. I'm like, all right. Okay. Cool. So I'm like, that's fine. I don't mean to rush you or be rude, and I appreciate communication. I don't want to rush your work at all because I do like the MV work you do. So again, if you could send it by the 21st or 22nd, that'd be great. And then they asked me, like, okay, if you don't mind, can you give me specifically which part that you think you would want more camera movement? Because I think it's not possible if I render all of it again, since it will take a long time for it. So then I was like, okay, fine, like, here you go, maybe around here. And then, like, I said, I think last time felt so long because you had forgotten to send it. Oh my god, Kōri is such a savage. I can't believe I said that. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Anyways, they said, the render and upload, it takes about 8 to 9 hours yesterday because my RAM is so broken, so I can't do anything on it, particularly really, really heavy. And I'm like, well, I sent you the changes, and if it takes long to render, that's fine on my end. Just keep me updated, please. And they were like, okay. And I said, thank you. So then the next day, the 21st happens, and then they're like, wanted to inform you, the revision, it's already 85% done. I'll keep you updated when it's done and need to render. And I'm like, thank you so much. And then the next day happens, hello, the revision has been done, and I need to render it. And they're like, rendering it, and then they send it. And I'm like, thanks. And I was like, I noticed there's another part with a watermark for a split second. It's around 2 minutes and 53 in towards the end of the video. You can see a watermark here. If you could remove that, please. So I sent a screenshot, and then they're like, wait, could you mark it? Because I didn't see it. So then I sent them this screenshot where I posted on the screen right now, where I fucking circled it in red. I'm like, bitch. I circled it. And then I also sent, okay, and this is what they said, by the way. They said, oh no, it's not a watermark, it's the particular Kōri. So they're saying that Crossfire was on the image that I sent him. And I'm like, oh, hell no, you are not blaming this on me right now. You're not blaming this shit text on, no, I know that it's not. It's literally so crazy. Like, you think you can get away with this? Really? So then I said, I've never seen that on the photo. It says Crossfire. And they're like, oh, wait, I'll double check. I'm like, it looks like the same watermark as what was on the beginning. And they're like, oh, the next day, oh, I have finished it. Let me know what you think. And I'm like, awesome. I don't see any watermarks, so this looks great. Thank you so much. By the way, there still is a watermark. I actually did find one. When I watched it again, like recently, I found another one. So really, it still has a watermark, but you can't tell. But it was just like crazy. I'm like, you did not just blame this on me. You did not just do this. I waited like, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Like, I'm already irate, bro. Why are you trying to make this shit worse, man? It's my fault what I sent you. I know, I looked at this commission like 20 times. I reviewed this with the artist like a million times already before even getting to this stage. This was not on there. Are you serious? Who does that? Anyway, I'm gonna hydrate. Thank you, by the way. Who does that? I was furious. I was so upset. I was like, why are you making this difficult for me? Like, just own up to that shit, bro. And it's like crazy that your whole thing is video editing and you're using stolen effects. You're not even paying for your effects. And then when you do use it, at least be sneaky about it, shit. Like, it's so obvious. It's so clear. Why are you doing that? Oh my god. I bet you didn't do that for Niji Sanji, right? Anyway. So there you go. Thank you. Hope you appreciated that story. It was so fucking doozy of one. Thank you for listening to it. You know, and I'm not trying to throw these people under the bus, by the way. You know, you're an adult. Make your decision if you would like to commission them. This is just my experience. There's no way to say that all other experiences are this way, but like, look at their website, do your research. You're an adult, and if you're not, then get an adult. You know, like, you shouldn't be here, really. you know, like, you should really just, like, do your own research, really. And this is just my experience. I'm not really trying to throw anyone under the bus, you know. I'm not gonna name names, but, like, it's just, this is not acceptable for freelance work, okay, y'all? Like, if you have been through something similar, if you've been through this, just know, like, it's happening everywhere. And it's just fun. It's just sad and funny that, like, other shit gets blown up, but, like, real, like, let's talk about, like, business ethics, like, real shit like that doesn't get blown up, and nobody changes from that either. It's, like, so rare that, like, anybody actually takes that shit seriously, because it just turns into drama. It's like, I'm not even trying to make drama. I'm just trying to say, like, you need to work on your shit, bro. If you want to be a freelance person so bad and, like, make money from being online and shit like that, well, then you gotta start acting like you're a business. And this is not how someone would treat you at a business, or it shouldn't be. If you did get treated like this, then you'd probably be upset. You know what I mean? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, there we go. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk on that. Okay, so this is another doozy that just took forever to even get through. Okay. God, this is gonna get really shitty really fast, but okay, so this is what I have on the screen right now are my, well, how to explain this. On the left, there are some designs that were never used, obviously, but it was for my chat box. On the left, they were designs that were sent to me as drafts, and they look great, by the way. They look nice. They look clean. And then, oh, sorry, did I say left or right? I don't know what the left is the test designs. Sorry, what did I say? God damn it, I always get them confused. And then on the right, where Axe pudgy little butt is right now, is my actual chat box. So, like the current one that I'm using right now. And, God, okay. So, this is all the same person, by the way. The person that did what's on the left is the same person that did what's on the right. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? Anyway. So let me talk about this, because this unfortunately was a very strange event to go through, and there is like a I wouldn't say happy, but like good note to this is that this is one that I did get a refund on. So like these were the overall the shit that I went through was very awful and it was annoying and whatnot, but at least it was resolved like pretty peacefully, you know what I mean, which I can appreciate that. So again, just to preface, it did end like peacefully for the most part. So anyway, let's talk about this, because this was kind of crazy. Yeah, one of them does kind of look like a donut, chat, doesn't it? It's supposed to be like shaved ice, like my snow syrup emote and sub icons or badges, but it doesn't really look like it, which is why I didn't move forward with that one. And it just looked too distracting as well. I didn't want something that was like, you know, really crazy looking. But it's cute. Okay, don't get me wrong. But anyway, so I'll get back to these in a second. But basically, I reached out to this person on Twitter, and it was like, hey, I saw that your commission's open for custom chat boxes, and I was wondering if it's possible for YouTube, or is it just for Twitch? Because like I noticed that like YouTube only accepts HTML versus Twitch, I think it's CSS, and I'm sorry if this is a weird question. And this was back in February 22nd, 2023. So they're like, oh yeah, like I'm testing out YouTube live streams with the coding, so I'll be able to do it. My work time is usually 2 to 4 days, but with YouTube, since I only have worked on Twitch overlays so far, it might take a few more days. Does that work for you? I'm like, yeah, I don't need it right now, you know, so you can take your time. You know, I'm not sure how this will work. Maybe I can send you my current custom chat box for you so you can get an idea of what I'm hoping for. And I was like also interested in another option that you have on your commission site, if that's okay. And they're like, yeah, of course. Like, can you add me on Discord and like send me that, and I can create a demo version for you? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do that after work. So then I add them on Discord. And then we have, oh shit, I didn't have my freaking streamer mode on, so then no one on Discord knew that I'm streaming. God damn it! Anyway, sorry, just me tings, you know what I'm saying? 1 second. Sorry, I forgot to pull it up. I thought I did pull it up. Oh, I restarted my computer. Never mind. All right, here we go. Okay. By the way, this is a long story, but I'm trying to keep this short, so it's kind of complicated. So anyways, yeah, so then I sent them like my references and files for my old custom chat box, and then some other references on like what I'd like new. We go a little bit back and forth, and this was in February, and then we started getting into, it was the end of February, so then it bled into March. And then they let me know like, oh, I was able to get some like YouTube stuff to work, and all my previous commissions are done, so I'm able to get started on yours. So then I'm like, okay, this is March 2nd. So then we talked a little bit more. I sent the references the next day. Sorry, I got this wrong. I sent my new references the next day of what I wanted, like updated, like a whole new chat box. And then they asked me a couple questions about it, and I asked a couple questions as well, like, is this possible? Is this possible? They answered my questions. Like, they were pretty helpful at this point. Like, don't get me wrong. I thought everything was going to go fine, you know? And they said, all right, I'm going to send new design ideas every once in a while. These are pretty rough, but I'll refine whichever one you choose. So then these are what's on the screen right now on the left-hand side, with the donut looking one, and then there's like the ones with the little like wings, and then the bottom one has like a little snowflake and the crown design. I told them that I really wanted the crown to be like the family crest to be somewhere on the chat box, so that was really important to me, and they did have that in like each of the chat box design drafts that they sent me. So then I talked about which ones that I liked, and then let's see, this was 2 days later, or sorry, that was the next day, and then the day after that, I talked about some other ideas that I might have had, and they said that it would be possible. I had this idea, well, I'm not gonna tell you actually, because maybe one day I'll pursue it, but anyway, so then we go back and forth about some other stuff. And then, by now it's let's see, the 7th of March. On the 9th of March, they're like, hey, I was going to send you the update earlier, but I've been unable to. I had to leave my house due to unforeseen circumstances, so I haven't had access to my computer with all my files. I'll be back on Saturday, so I'll be able to work on your design then. Sorry about that. And I'm like, oh, no, don't worry about it. Like, take care. Hope everything's okay. No rush. 9 days later, well past Saturday, 9 days later, I said like, hey, I just want to check in. I hope everything's okay. Oh shit. I forgot about that. So I said, again, I'm in no rush really, but I got a message from your manager today, so I figured I'd follow up from you. So this is the message that I'm talking about now. So, on the 19th, I got a DM on Twitter from their account, from the commissioner's account, and they were like, were you interested? And I'm like, this is weird, like, why are you asking me if I'm interested? Like, we're talking on Discord, you know what I mean? So then I'm like, hey there, yeah, we have a chat open on Discord already, or are you asking about something else? And they're like, oh, sorry, this is so-and-so's manager. He didn't let me know that you already discussed. And I'm like, oh, okay, no worries, thanks. I'm like, you have a manager? What do you need a manager for? I was like, huh, that's really strange. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, I guess. So then that's why I Discord messaged them and was like, hey, I got a message from your manager, so I figured I'd follow up with you, because it's also been 9 days, you know. So then they're like, hi, it is slowly but surely coming along. I should have a design idea to send you later today. Sorry about the delay again. And then I waited 2 days and just pretended like, oh, hey, sorry, I thought I responded. No biggie on the delay. Looking forward to the update. I waited 2 days because I was like, maybe they forgot, you know, because that's happened before. Like, they did it, but then they forgot to send it. You know what I mean? So I waited 2 days. From that was on the 19th. The 21st, I say, hey, blah, 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 blah. The 25th, 4 days later, after that, I'm like, hey, I just wanted to check in and see if there's any progress. I'm hoping to use this new chat in the next month or so, if possible. So then after that, no response. So on like, when was this? 2 days later, on the 27th, I am like, hey, so sorry to bother you. Sorry, this is on Twitter. I'm like, hey, sorry to bother you on here, but I just want to check if there's any progress. I haven't heard from you on Discord, so I'm not sure if something happened. I'm hoping to use this chat in the next month or so, and I hope everything's okay. But if I don't hear from you, I'll assume you aren't able to work on the project, which is all good. Because, like, I need this done. Like, if you don't want to work on it, then just tell me. You know what I mean? Like, don't fucking drag me along, okay? Just tell me you don't want to do this. It's okay if you don't, but I need to go find somebody else if you're not going to do this, you know? Anyways, then they responded on Twitter, and they're like, sorry for missing your message on Discord. I've been really sick, so I haven't been able to check. I haven't really been checking messages or getting any work done since I've been sleeping like 18 hours straight. I'm so sorry about this. And I said, no, it's okay. Like, sorry to bother you while you're not feeling well. I'll wait another week to check in. However, I am hoping to have this chat box by late next month, just as a heads up. But for sure, focus on getting better for now. Let me know when you're able to work. Sorry again to bother you. No response. Nothing said there. So then, on the 7th, I was like, this is April 7th, by the way. This is, what's this? 10 days later. I said, hey, I hope you're feeling better. Again, I hate to bother you, but I just want to check in to see if you're interested or able to work on the commission. It's totally fine if you're not feeling up to it. Please let me know. Thank you. And then, I also send them, and then so that's on the 7th of April. On the 9th of April, I also sent them a Discord message, and I'm like, hey, I hope you're feeling better. Again, sorry to work. I sent the same message. I copied and pasted it, right? And then, on April 10th, 3 days later, they're like, so-and-so's manager's here. He's been working on it he's been working on it, but every design he comes up with, he dislikes. He isn't very good at the design aspect of Chatbox, just the coding part. I will try to assist him, but if you can design it on your own or get a professional designer to do it, that is much more preferred, and your price with them will go down. And I'm like, I sent them a bunch of, like, first of all, will you guys see this, okay, on the left-hand side? These are not bad designs. And I even said, like, why don't we move forward with one of these? You know what I mean? But they didn't. So I'm like, where are we at right now? You know, it's so strange to me. And I'm like, you're telling me, again, this all started in, like, February, early March. So now it's been an entire month where you haven't been able to get anything out. I don't know, it's just really weird. And I know, okay, maybe they really were sick and stuff like that, but I was just like, okay, well. And then what, you want me to go hire a designer or design it myself? Why do you think I'm going to you to commission this? What? So anyways, and I even, to be fair, also, I even sent them, like, a design that I made, but they didn't do anything with it. So that's another thing. I even, like, made a design, made an example, and they still didn't do anything with it. I'm like, well, what do you think is, like, what? Anyway. So I responded then. I said, oh, they recommended me some graphic designers. And that was like on April 12th. And then like on April 16th, I was just like, you know, after doing some research, I think it'd be better if like he just uses my old design for the chat box. Like, they already have access to that design, but let me know if they need it again. And then, what was it? So then April 20th comes, and I'm like, 420, let's go. I said, when you get a chance, can you let me know what I should be expecting from this process from here on out? I'm hoping to have these assets done by mid-May if possible, so I just want to understand the timeline, please and thank you. And then the manager responds again, like, I guess because he never wants to talk to anyone. He can definitely get them finished by then. Please give me a deadline in May, and you got it. I said, May 12th, does that work? Let me know, thanks. And they're like, yeah, that works. I'm like, okay, thank you. Will I be receiving some kind of, like, check-in or update soon? I'd like to see the assets before the final, just in case there's some light edits from me. And then again, the manager asked me, what is your deadline? And I was like, I sent my deadline in my previous message, May 12th. Like, what are you saying? I was like, what? Did you asked me what the deadline is, and you said, give me a deadline, and you got it. And you didn't even write it down. You didn't even write it down, homie G. Oh my god! I was like, there's no way! There's no way! No way that this is happening right now! Anyway, so then they're like, thank you for reminding me, apologies, it'll be ready by then. And I'm like, okay, well, can I receive like any check-ins or updates before the deadline so I can know that we're on track, and if I notice any edits, we can make those edits sooner rather than later. And then they were like, well, he has not begun on it, so no updates thus far. When you start to let him know that you want updates. And I'm like, great, thank you. So then, what happened here? Okay, so then on May 3rd, this is from April 24th to May 3rd, I sent another DM on Twitter. I said, hey, sorry to bother again. I feel bad for constantly pinging you, but I'm concerned about the commission. I haven't gotten any updates, and the deadline is fast approaching. I've been waiting a while for this chat box, and I contacted them over 2 months ago. 2 months! Any updates is appreciated. Again, I don't mean to be pushy. I'm just concerned, blah, 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 blah. Usual nice Kōri shit. Okay? And then they were like, I'm so sorry that we've been worrying you. They're not good at designing and doing the design from scratch. They delayed his work a lot because he kept restarting it out of unhappiness with the product. I will inform him to get it done this week, promise. Again, so sorry for the delay. We'll make it by your deadline of May 12th for sure. And then it said, might I suggest join the Discord for and yeah, that's right. They are a, what is it called? A guild or whatever. This person that I was talking to, I realized that the reason why he had a manager was because he got accepted into a, like, artist guild. And I was like, what? Anyway, so they're like, oh, suggest joining the Discord for our guild and, like, choose this role and open a ticket and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, fuck that! No! If you can't take care of your clients, why would I do that? Why? You've given me no reason. Why can't you help me? Why can't you help me? I'm talking to you right now, homie G. I'm talking to you right now. Why are you asking your client, oh yeah, well, in order to, like, you know, talk to me, you basically have to, like, submit a contact form, and then you also have to, like, give me your liver, and then you also have to, like, blow into this tissue. Like, shut the fuck up. Just let me talk to somebody. Why are you talking like this? I've been talking to you this whole time. Why do I have to join your fucking Discord to do that? You have me fucked up. So as I said, I have him added on as a friend on Discord, so I'll just try directly messaging him on there. So anyways, yeah, and then they're like, of course, I'm so sorry for the lack of updates. Like, he's been working on commissions for everyone. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, though. You don't see the problem here? It's been 2 months. It's been 2 months. He's been working on everybody else's shit but mine. And then y'all keep saying you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. And then they say his turnaround time is usually 3 to 4 days once he starts. And he's been packed with other commissions that he starts the week before deadlines. Apologies again. Okay, so why are you letting him aren't you his manager? Why are you letting him take on all these fucking commissions if he can't fucking handle it? Shit. Anyway. So guess what? Guess the fuck what, by the way. So that same day on May 3rd, I also send I Discord message the chat box person, and I sent them the most basic shit. I sent them a picture of another person's chat box, and I'm like, can you just do this and change the colors? Like, that's it? Can you just do that? And then, so then finally, like, on May 5th, they send me what you see on the screen on the right. You can see the blue chat box, right? They send me that, and I'm like, okay, great. And, you know, then there's pink ones and there's blue ones. It is the most basic shit, y'all. Like, I was like, I can't believe we went from, like, having something that could have really been creative to this, you know? And I was just like, whatever. At the point, like, I just needed the fucking chat box, and I'm like, I'll take whatever I can fucking get from you at this point, you know? So then, asked him a couple of questions, and then, by May 9th, they asked me to test it out, and then on May 10th, I was able to test it out, the chat box. I had one revision, And then I asked him, like, okay, so I do have one question. Do you happen to know? And I've asked him this before because I wanted to make sure. But I asked him, like, do you happen to know exactly how I get the YouTube chat connected to this Stream Elements chat? Because it was a chat that was connected to Stream Elements or whatever the fuck. I can't even fucking remember. Do you have instructions on where to put the YouTube chat link or something like that? And then they were just like, Stream Elements also lets you sign in through your YouTube account, and then you set up any YouTube overlays. I'm like, thanks. Yeah, I did that, but I'm trying to figure out how it directly connects to the YouTube live chat, because in OBS I have to input the stream chat link from YouTube into OBS. So if you don't know what that means because you're not a streamer, when you do YouTube streaming specifically, and specifically for YouTube streaming, usually with Twitch, like, it's really straightforward because you have like a Stream Elements integration with Twitch. So like Stream Elements is very easy for it to like grab what's on Twitch. Like the code is like pretty simple. It's straightforward there, right? But on YouTube, in order for you to get the YouTube live chat displayed on your screen, you have to copy the URL of the YouTube chat box. Because it says, like, it'll say studio.youtube.com/live chat, blah, 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 blah. And each time you stream, it's a different URL, right? So when I was just using my own, ugly shit that I, like, made from a free thing on YouTube, when I started doing YouTube streams, I had to just, like, copy and paste the URL of the YouTube chat every time I went live. So, with that in mind, this is what I'm asking him. I'm like, where do I paste the YouTube live chat so that way the YouTube live chat comes up on the goddamn screen? You know what I mean? Because how does that work? Because otherwise I don't know how it does. Because it doesn't work the same as Twitch. So then, like, they were just like, oh, it's the same thing as Twitch chat, like, and they repeated the same directions, like, over and over again. And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure if you're familiar with YouTube chat, but it generates a unique chat URL for every stream. And so I explained to them what I just explained to you. And then they were like, you don't need the unique URL. Just do it the same exact way as the Twitch chat. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Well, let me know when you've got it and I'll test it again, I guess. Right? So then they updated it, and then I paid for it as well. And then, this was May 14th. This was May 14th, right? So then in June 4th, I was like, hey, I know it's been a bit since we last chatted. However, I've spent countless hours trying to make this chat box work, and I simply cannot. You mentioned that you had a YouTube channel. Is there any way you can test the chat box there and explain to me how you got the YouTube live chat through the custom chat box on Stream Elements onto OBS and then live on stream? I can confirm that it is not as simple as connecting your YouTube channel to Stream Elements. I've made sure it was connected 10 times, and then it's still not connecting to my stream's live chat. I really want to use this chat box for my debut this Saturday, and it's been so frustrating trying to get this to work. And I reminded them, I already connected my YouTube to Stream Elements. It's not working still. I even tried to download the Stream Elements widget, and it doesn't work either. So then they asked me, like, okay, we did some back and forth between, like, okay, can you try to show me this, show me that? What's your setting for this? What's your setting for that? And so basically I tested, like, they told me, like, oh, you have to be, like, your YouTube thing has to be public for it to work. Your stream has to be public. So I did a live stream where it was public and it wasn't working. And, like, oh god. And so then I tried to schedule a stream, and then it was taking the live chat from a scheduled stream for whatever reason. And I said, it's a scheduled stream and it's not even live, but it's taking the live chat from a scheduled stream. I don't know if that makes any sense to y'all, but that's what it was doing. So it was so dumb. So I'd be live, and YouTube reads that I'm live, and everything else reads that I'm live, but it's taking from a scheduled... The chat itself was from a scheduled stream, which I guess explains to y'all why I don't do scheduled streams anymore, not just because of the Twitch thing, but even before I started multi-streaming and I was just on YouTube, I couldn't do scheduled streams because I found out that this was the issue. So anyway, basically they told me to like ask Streamlabs. Like they basically were saying like, oh, this is a Stream Elements like problem basically. And so I was like, okay, fine. So then I tried messaging, getting a support ticket from Stream Elements. And this is what they said. This is what Stream Elements said. From what I can see, this is a custom widget. You will need to contact the creator directly for assistance. But what I can see on the custom code, this looks like a widget for Twitch, which might be the reason it's not working properly with a YouTube account. Bruh. I told this dude from the very beginning that I needed it for YouTube, and obviously we've been talking back and forth about YouTube, and Stream Elements themselves were like, hey, just looking at this code, dog, it's for Twitch, it ain't even for YouTube. And I'm like, bruh, you're making me look like an idiot, bro. Come on. Oh my god, it was just crazy. I also was in contact with the fucking manager again while this was happening, and I told them like, you know, this isn't working, and then I sent them what Stream Elements said, and then I said I made it really clear from the beginning that this is for YouTube chat, and while I know nothing about coding, according to the Stream Elements support, there was something wrong with the code. I said this whole experience has been dragged out for months, and I feel like I've been the one that had to communicate and find these bugs despite being the customer. The entire process has been very unprofessional. If so-and-so is unable to deploy a fix to the code, and if I continue to be unable to use the chat box, what are the next steps as for receiving a refund for the service that I paid for but I am not receiving? So then they said we can offer you a full refund, and like they swear that the chat box works, but he can't figure out the issue, and I'm so sorry for the experience, and like, oh, like then they started saying, and I feel bad for this person that made the what do you call it, the chat box, because this is what the manager said. This commission was well before so-and-so joined the guild. We will have to look into his timeliness issue as well as this YouTube coding issue, because these need to be fixed for him to stay. And I'm like, why are you talking about him like that? Like, don't tell me that, by the way. Like, what? That's kind of messed up. Like, I know that, like, there's a level of, like, a manager kind of throwing somebody under the bus so that way it makes the client feel better. But, like, I don't need to hear that. Like, if you want to take action against your employee, you have every right to do that. But I don't need to hear that. Can you just tell me how you're going to make this right for me? Because I don't care what y'all do. I don't want anything to do with y'all anymore. Like, just make this right for me, please. That's all I'm asking, you know? By the way, they're still in the guild, so... Anyway, so... so then, like, you know, I just told them that, like, you know, I don't want to be an awful client. Like, I'm really sorry that this is happening. It's just, like, I can't believe that it took this long. And, like, I appreciate your communication. And, like, you know, I'm gonna keep trying to test it, but, like, it's just, like, it's not working. And I also said, like, I'm okay with the partial refund, you know, because he did, if he did, like, I said, oh, sorry. He said if he wants to, I said, if he wants to continue and try to figure out a solution, and he creates that solution, I'm okay with a partial refund. But if he's not able to continue and find that solution, please issue me a full refund. That's what I said. So, like, if he did come to a solution, I'm cool with, like, a partial refund. Like, okay, that's fine, you know? But if you can't, then I can't, what am I supposed to do? I'm just SOL, you know what I mean? So, anyway, yeah, so then, like, they couldn't figure it out, and they gave me a refund, and, we just, like, basically parted there. And then I also messaged the manager again. And by the way, this is all on his Twitter account. So I'm like, does he not see these messages? But I don't know, because I'm like, does he not see you throwing him under the bus? Because that's kind of messed up. But okay. So I'm just like, I also told them, like, just so it's not a concern for you, since this is Twitter, and I know people could be. I have no intention of speaking publicly about this, since a full refund has been issued and we resolved this privately. Take care. So I just want to let him know, like, you know, I'm not gonna put you on blast. I could put you on blast, especially because, like, at this time, their little guild was, like, just starting out. And so it would have looked really bad, like, if they, you know, if they got into this drama, like, right when they started. And, like, again, like, I'm not out for, like, blood or anything like that. Like, you know, it's just, when you don't treat your clients like that, you know. Anyway, so and then they told me this. The manager's like, you aren't an awful client. Everyone has limits, and I've been yelling at him lately about his work. He hit a depressive slump, but I told him he still has to deliver to clients and give updates frequently, and that is just good etiquette. And yeah, so I was just kind of like, why would you say that? Again, I'm like, why would you say that? Don't say that. Like, I mean, they said a couple other things, but like, just don't say that, man. Like, I don't know. It's not nice to say about your employee. You know what I mean? I don't know. And I said, and then they were like, oh, also like so-and-so, the chat box creator, found a fix and will send you a video of how he achieved it. And then I was like, oh, well, just so you know, it was not a solution that he sent me. It was a workaround, meaning the product still doesn't work. I still can't use the chat box. But we're just deciding to do the refund and move on. Just to clarify, he didn't fix it, unfortunately. So I made it very clear, like, yes, he sent me a workaround, but it is not a solution. And to me, that's still not, like, you know, you can have Coca-Cola, but if there's still no like can or glass to put it in, it's just Coca-Cola on the floor. You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna drink that? I mean, you could, but like, it's not the best Coca-Cola. Like, it's probably stale. You know what I mean? And it's on the floor, so it's like, it's still Coca-Cola, but you can't really drink it like it's Coca-Cola. You know? So yeah, I don't know. It was really frustrating to like go through that entire process, and again, like, have this bad experience connected to like the chat box, which is something I still use to this day. And it sucks because like I had so many ideas and my references and pictures like that I had for the chat box was much more dynamic than this. Okay, than this. This to me is like pretty plain, and I like it at the same time because it's simple, it's straightforward, it still has the family crest, but like it's not what I wanted, and it's really sad that it had to get to this point where it's like, it was like 3 months. I reached out to them at the end of February, and it kept going. It was 4 months until June. Like, that's crazy. Until June, really? Oh my god. I don't know. Anyway. And then it's funny because like on their profile right now, it says comms closed on probation. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like something bad happened again to them, so they really need to start rethinking their career. I'm gonna be honest with them, but anyway, just my humble opinion. But anyway, so that's what happened with that, and yeah. Okay. All right, let's talk about another one that is funny. I think this one is funny. So so y'all see, or maybe you don't see, but it's funny to see Ack here. But anyway, so I brought up on my screen my background, my bedroom background that I use in the game, the first game and the second game for that matter, and in my streams as well, my little bedroom background. That's what I have on the screen. And so this is not how it started though. Let me be real with you. And I think this story is funny because there's just so much packed in here. Let me pull up, hold on one second. So before I pull that up, I'm gonna pull this up first. And what I'm gonna show you really quick, or people that are able to see the screen, what I'm going to be showing you is a document where I go into detail on what I'm looking for in the commission. Sorry, it's a little bit wonky on the screen, but anyway, so as you can see, like I explained, okay, I want a royal ice fantasy style room. I need purples and blues for the colors. The floor should be ice, and I included my current background, which is the living room of the castle. I also included some images that they had created as reference as well. And this is beautiful, by the way. It's a beautiful, they do some beautiful work, you know what I mean? And it looks great, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I sent some other, like, information on, like, what I want in the room. my family crest, and some more references of things that they did that I thought would be cool as to include, yada yada yada, right? So I send all those references, and this is what I get back. And now this is my marked up version, so apologies that it's kind of got like red marks on it, but I'll explain this. So this is what I got back, okay? This is what I got back. Does anyone want to explain to me who the fuck this is, by the way? I know that this is just a draft, but like, what is going on? What is going on in this image, y'all? I have no clue. I have no clue. So, okay, we've got a fountain. We've got a fountain against these windows, and like, I said it's a magical world, so I don't get why you don't just have like lights. No, well, there's a fountain over here too. There's a fountain right here, a fountain next to a window. There's another one right behind me. See, in between my tail and my tush, right there. Anyway, they like, it's a magical world, so the lights can be floating. It doesn't need to be like connected to anything. That could be fine, you know. I want a little bit of magical in it. I'm like, what are these lamps? These lamps look like, why would that be in a princess's room? And like, I don't know, just like, that looks really bad. And then like the family crest, like they just like cropped it in a weird way, and I'm just like, why is that there? And then like why would the desk and bookcase be in the middle of the room? And then why is there just like empty space right here? Why is there just empty space? I'm like, what's gonna go there? Is it just gonna be empty? Because like, why would that just be empty? You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just was like sitting there like, what happens? Like, I remember just like thinking like, this looks nothing like even remotely close to the kind of creative work that I've seen them do previously. And like, again, who is this? Who is this? There's like this character that's outside the window in like a cheetah print, and I'm like, why would you, like, okay, maybe you're using them as like a perspective thing, you know what I mean? But like, why would you keep that in the image? Why would you send me this draft and be like, yep, this is good. Yep, let me keep this character in there. What is this? Don't keep the character there, homie G. Oh, Lord. That is just... Anyway, it just didn't look good at all. So eventually I had to, you know, I had to like go through all... I basically have to tell them like, this is nothing. Nothing! Ah! God damn it. Drink some water. I can't, I had to like scrap the whole thing. And so, they redid it basically. And, it was like, wow. That was really bad though. I mean, do you see this? Look at this. What are they supposed to do with this? Oh my God. Why? I'm just looking at this again. I'm like, why? Why? Anyway, so, that's what happened there. And, you know, we're lucky that it turned out this way, you know, like, the difference in quality, well, I mean, obviously that was a draft, but the overall difference in just, like, how it looks, how the room is set up, like, have you ever heard of, like, feng shui or whatever it is? Oh my God. Anyway, so that's what happened there, and that's that. Okay, so, this last segment that I have to talk about, is one I don't have images for because it's my own model and my own rigging. Hold on, let me get up the emails. Emails, alright. Okay, so it sucks that I even have a bad experience with my current model. Not this one, sorry. Not the raccoon. I mean, he's part of it, but not really. I'm trying to get positioned here. Trying to get sat on the toilet. Alright. Okay, so when I initially reached out to my model artist, and you know, again, like my experience with my model artist and my rigger, like overall was okay, and I'm not upset at them or anything like that. I still think they did a wonderful job. But there were some things that happened in the process that definitely was like difficult to wrap my head around. And basically when I reached out to my model artist, and this is for my current model again, you know, they were cool, seemed fine. I gave them a very hefty reference and details and description of the project, and they explained like that, you know, I reached out in November. So November 20th of 2022. Oh god. Anyway, anyways, they told me that, like, you know, they're booked for they're booked for November, so they'd have to start in December. And then we talked a little bit about pricing and stuff like that. And then let's see. Let's see. And then we did like the poll payment, basically. Oh, no, we talked about the invoice will be coming in December. So then they sent me the invoice. I paid for it. And let's see. Where did it start getting a little bit weird though? Oh, that's right. They said that they were going to send me a sketch of it on December 13th. They said they're going to send it to me within the week, and that they're catching up on work because they left on a sudden trip, and that's why it's taking a little bit longer. And I'm like, okay, that's no problem. So then December 20th comes around 7 days later, and I'm like, hey, you said you're going to send me a sketch, so, you know, I just want to check in. Don't mean to rush you. Just want to see if there's any updates or issues. Thank you for your time. And they're like, oh, I'll make sure to send in the sketch today. I haven't had a break since that day, so it's probably why I forgot to send the sketch to you. Thank you for understanding. So then they send me the sketch, and then I send my, like, kind of revisions, and then they respond 2 days later. Or no, that was both 2 days later. No, it was 2 days later. Okay. So then, let's see. Then they send the sketch, then they send the base color, and then, let's see. Then they had to send me a second invoice as well, because we had to split the payment. So, yeah, by this point, it's the end of December, and let's see. I'm trying to remember where it got also a little bit weird. So, oh yeah, okay. So then at this point, so again, I reached out to them end of November. They got started on it in December. And now it is the end of January. It's January 21st. And I'm like, oh, like it's almost done, by the way. Like they're just working on like the assets at that point. And I was like, oh, like, I hope to submit this, you know, model for rigging on February 1st. Like, do you think you'll have it done by then? And they're like, basically, no. And they sent me like the PSD without all of them on it, without all the assets on the 22nd of January. And then they went on vacation, and then they said that they'd be back by like around like mid-February. So then literally mid-February, February 15th, I emailed them and I'm like, hey, like I think you said to be back by then, so I just wanted to check in. Like I really need the model to be done ASAP so that way I can get the PSD submitted to some riggers, because like I was planning already on debuting in June, and I didn't know how, like I was already talking to some riggers, and like basically if I wanted to get it done by then, they needed the files like today basically. And I couldn't apply for like there's a lot of other riggers that had applications open, but I couldn't apply for it because I didn't have the files done, and they only accept finished files, you know what I mean? So I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, like, where is it? You know, it's already been like 3 months basically. And basically I don't get the finished model until the end of February. And there were things that were missing as well. Like, I found out like too late basically, or maybe not too late, but I just found out that like they didn't do any of the like emotes that I wanted, or like most of them that I wanted. Like, did ones that they felt like doing, and they didn't do like the silly ones, which was like really sucky to see because I really wanted them, because that's like part of my character, it's my persona, you know what I mean? And they didn't tell me otherwise either. Like, from the get-go, I sent all of my references, all the emotes I wanted and things like that, and that's what I paid for as well. But they didn't give that to me, even though that's what I paid for. But I was at the point where it's like, I just need to get this rigged because I need it done. You know what I mean? I need to use it. I need to use it in June. Like, I'm not gonna sit around, like, I can't sit around and like go back and forth with this person, ask them to like do this and do that, you know? So there were several things that they forgot, and which had come back and like bite me in the ass, because I had to go back and forth with the rigger on the things that the artist forgot. So then, oh my god, so then I go and reach out to the rigger in March as soon as I could. You know, I got at the end of February, like February 27th. 5 or 6, 7 days later, I finally reached out to my rigger in March 3rd. I get a response 4 days later. And this is obviously we've got the 180 degrees. And they tell me about like, okay, here's what we are gonna do. We could do this and that, and like this is how much it is. Da 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 da. And then I asked them like 3 times, are you gonna be able to complete it by early or mid-May? Because I need it by June. You know what I mean? And then I said, like, I don't need certain assets by that time, but I do need like the main stuff done by early mid-May, you know? And they're like, yeah, we can do that. And so, basically, let me see. So then they asked me to, let me see. So then they sent me the invoice, and this was on March 15th that I paid them the money. And then I asked them, like, what does it look like from here? They let me know what their process is. And then I was like, okay, great. And I don't hear from them. And again, this is March 15th. I don't hear from them. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, all right. So then on the 26th, I'm just like, hey, you know, I just wanted to ask, like, if you wanted me to start a thread between you and my artist in case you need to modify, like, the PSD. You know, let me know if you need that. Do you have an estimated date when you're going to begin the process? And then, you know, try to be nice and respectful. A couple weeks later, so that was March 26th. On April 15th, I still don't have a response, so I send an email out, and I'm like, hey, just want to check in since it's been like a month and almost half of the working time for the project, so I just wanted an update if possible. And again, I paid for this already. Okay, I paid for it. I paid this whole thing off. Anyways, so then like I asked them questions, and then again, the English is not their first language, so I translated my my message as well using Google to Japanese in case that would help with the response, because they seem to kind of like respond later, and I didn't know if it was just a language barrier thing. So then they just said like, oh, it's progressing well. I checked the file. There's no problems. I'm going to start rigging when it's your turn. You know, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, sure. So then that was again in April 16th. May 9th. It is May now. I'm like, how are you doing? You know, just checking in, like, can I see a video of the progress or anything like that? I'm just really worried about the rigging being completed in time because, I needed it by the end of May, preferably before May 31st. Like, will you be able to complete it by May 31st? And then they're like, oh, like, sorry, my modeling requires 1 to 2 weeks of work time. Your modeling is being done in parallel with the modeling of others. Therefore, I have not had time to take sufficient progress videos. Please forgive me. Your model will definitely be completed by the end of May. I hope to be able to send you a progress video around the 15th. Could you please wait a little longer? So I'm like, okay. I'm sorry if I'm like, being rude. Like, I just wanted to thank you for telling me your process. I'm gonna look out for it. You know what I mean? But it's like, if you know that your work time takes only like 2 weeks, then why are you charging me 3 months beforehand? I don't know, but okay, fine, So then because at this point, I'm like worried that like I'm locked in. I already paid you, how much money to do this rigging, and it's May. I can't go to someone else and get the rigging done, and I already at this point have announced my debut in June. So I don't want to take that back either. So I'm here freaking out. These are some of like the most stressful months that I have ever had, I think. Like, I was just like, I don't even know if I'm going to get my model. Even though I'm out here pushing my debut, I didn't even know if I could even have the debut. Anyway, so then they sent me a progress video on May 16th. And I was like, okay, got it. And, I asked them again, like, I said like 3 times, like, it needs to be done by the May 31st. It needs to be done by then. You know what I mean? So then, at this point, I'm translating everything that I'm sending as well. And on top of, like, the English as well. Anyway, so then that was on the 15th or 16th of May. So then a week later, on the 23rd, I just, like, checked in again. Because we were about a week away from the 31st. And I asked for an update video again. And that was on the 23rd. On the 26th, I haven't heard back, so then I followed up again. And then they responded, and they said they're going to send a video that night. And then they sent me a video. Maybe to them it was that night, but to me it was the next day. No big deal, because of time zones and stuff like that. So they sent me a video, and I'm like, okay, great. Looks great. Looking forward to it. And then they sent me, like, the zip file on the 31st. And I basically, like, they said that there were some things that were still not completed. So I was like, can you explain to me what's not completed? Like, can you send me the list of the things that aren't done? I try to understand what's going on here, and, like, I also said, I don't mean to be rude, but as you know, I sent you the payment for this over 2 months ago, and I was clear that the deadline would be today, May 31st. I prefer it if you got as much as you can done as possible. I'm sorry if this is causing you stress. It is definitely concerning to me as well. I am also getting an error when I tried to open the file you sent me. Can you send me a new one, please, for VTube Studio? And yeah, so, they said that they're still having they are having an issue, like, trying to see it on their VTube Studio. They said that, like, it does show, but they don't know what's causing it to not show on mine. So then, like, they send me another one and then try to tell me, like, okay, try doing this. So then we go back and forth, and then finally, I got it on June 1st. I was able to get it installed, so that was, like, I guess the next day. But it took a while. And then I had a few edits for it as well, like the model, like the movement and stuff like that. And it was some stuff, like, some of the edits I had just was a little bit, like, how do I explain this? Again, it was just, like, attention to detail almost. Like, when I turned to the right, for example, my torso moved more than when I turned to the left. Like, I don't really know how to explain that, but it was just, I didn't really understand how you missed that, but I don't know, I'm not a rigger, so I can't say much, but it was very clear, like, it was really obvious some of the things that was going on. And then, like, and then this is also when I found out that there were several things that I asked my artist to do that were not in the file, because the rigger was like, well, it's not there. And it's also annoying because, like, I sent my big ass reference, like, document to the rigger. I sent it to the artist, and it has everything I say on there has a reference to it too. So it's like a video or an image. Everything I wanted had a reference for it, and yet there were things that were missing. And I'm like, how is it? Like, you said that you read it. You said that you were cool with everything that was on there. Why didn't you do it? It's like, I don't understand. So anyways, so then I have to send this, like, list of things that needed to be, like, edited, And the list of things, some of the things that I already listed on the document, like things that I said, like a simple like toggle. I was like, can you toggle this on and off? And that's something that I said specifically on my documents. Like, this needs to be toggleable. I don't know how you say that, but whatever. So then I sent them like response, they responded back. I sent them some response as well. And then let's see. They sent me an updated file on June 3rd. I sent them more edits on June 4th. And on June 6th, they sent me another one. And then I think that was good. Right. And then I said that I needed the other asset that I asked them for by next month, the next month. So that, but at this point, this is June 9th. And by the way, I was debuting on the 10th of June. I'm not shitting you. I got the model the day before I was debuting. The day before, and it still wasn't done. Still wasn't done. Isn't that crazy? I didn't tell anyone that because I didn't want to like make it like a big deal, but it was just like I got it the day before. It was crazy. I remember like I had to make like the promo like video and stuff like that for like my debut, and I used like the old version that wasn't even that good, and like it oh god, yeah, it was bad. Anyway. So then they were like, so that was on June 9th when I was like, hey, I need the other asset done by July 19th. Does that work for you? That was on June 9th. June 25th, they're like, hey, I was on vacation for a little bit. It can be done by the 19th, and I'll contact you as soon as there's progress on it. And then I'm like, okay. So then the 19th happens, and then they send me the file. And then I said, okay, I'm going to review it. I send them my revisions on the 23rd. And then they told me that some things can't be done. So then I have to like go back and like try to ask my artist for them. And my artist was like, oh, it's going to cost you another $500 to do that. And I'm like, what? So I couldn't even like get some of the things that I wanted to do done because it was going to be a further charge. And at this point, I had already invested too much money into this model that I was now getting frustrated over. And I'm like, okay, never mind. Oh my god. So, anyways, then let's see. I asked the rigger some more questions, and then that was on July 28th. And then on August 11th. Okay, again, this was supposed to be done on July 19th. August 11th. They're like, I have to follow up with them on August 11th. And now it's been 2 weeks since my last email. And I'm like, did you get it? Did you get my previous email? Like, sorry to bother you. Just want to check in. Like, whatever. So anyway, so then 4 days later on the 15th, they respond. And then, so I send them these updated files. And then on September 4th, we went from August 17th to September 4th. I have to check in with the rigger again. And I'm like, hey, do you think you could complete the changes in rigging soon? Please let me know. Again, this is supposed to be done July 15th. And we are now in September. Or 19th, excuse me. And then they told me to wait the day after the tomorrow when the internet is fixed. Because their home internet is not connected. And I'm like, okay, September 5th, right? September 12th. I have to reach out again. Hey, could you please send me the updated files? Because tomorrow, last time I heard was September 6th or September 7th. I'll give you that because time zones are weird, and I'm just going to assume maybe it's just like that, okay? But it is now September 12th. The September 12th. It is not tomorrow anymore. Very clearly not tomorrow. Anyways, so that's September 12th. And I had to be like, it's been over 2 months since this was supposed to be completed, so I'm a little worried. Like, this whole time, I haven't said anything about, like, where's it, like, I was really, like, deadline, rush for the debut. But this was like an asset that I didn't need to use right away, so I was like, okay, like, you know, I'm cool with taking a little bit longer. But it's been 2 months since it was supposed to be done. I was like, oh my god, really? Huh, that's crazy. Anyways, so then they were like, oh, thanks for getting back to me. I'm so sorry for the delay. Due to many unforeseen circumstances, we have not completed the models for our other clients and are currently working frantically on them. And your model will be sent on the 16th to 18th. Please wait a little longer. So I was just like, oh my god. Again, we have the whole, like, I have other clients that I have to do excuse. Doesn't matter what language we're talking in right now, okay? It seems like almost every freelance person does it, apparently. You just take in way too many clients, and then you just, like, overload yourself, and then you just be like, it's not my fault, it's theirs. Well, you took the payment, you took the work. You know what I mean? You took their money. And, like, so I bought, again, let's put it also in this perspective. I reached out to them in March. I think I paid for it, again, also in March. I did, yeah. On March 15th. I didn't get everything I paid for. Everything. I paid for that in March. I didn't get everything that I paid for until September. Okay? That's like 6 months. That's half a year, bro. Just crazy. I mean, yeah, I got the first part on time, quote unquote, but like the rest of it, like I still paid for that. I was like, wow. Why would you have someone pay for something that's like just, I don't know. I'm done with that, bro. I'm done for that, bro. It's just like, no, I'm good. I'm good, bro. Anyway, yeah. You know, and I to be honest too, like I do, like I said, I love the model, and I thanked the rigger. I didn't read it out loud, but I did thank the rigger, like, and the artist, like, thank you for helping me make my dreams come true here. Like, you put to paper or to VTube Studio, you know, the rigging and stuff like that, what I couldn't do, but I wanted, and you allowed that to happen, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate the work that you do. It looks amazing. And to be treated like this, like, even though you're trying to be respectful of their time, their, like, the things that they do is, like, really disappointing, you know? Like, it was, in the situations I talked about today, it was always me checking in with them. It should not be that way, y'all. It should be, if they are paying for your service, you need to respect the money that they worked hard for to pay you with. And you need to be like, hey, here's the update. Hey, here's the update. Hey, sorry, I know that you need this by, like, I don't understand that. I don't get, like, what, especially when we're talking about, like, a lot of money here. Like, I'm not talking $10. I'm not talking dollar store. You know what I mean? Like, this is big money. And you're just, like, you're not giving a shit, you know? So it's just really frustrating to go through these situations where it's like, I have to be the one that babysits you. I have to be the one that follows up with you. Otherwise, you will not do the work. Like, that's become very clear to me with a lot of people. Like, if I'm not the one that's following up, then they're just not going to do it because, like, nobody's pushing them to do it. Because they don't know how to manage themselves. Because all these freelance people, like, they get really great at something, and they're skilled. They practice hard, and then they do hard work. And they think they're like, okay, yeah, now I can start a business. But it's like, you're skilled in your expertise, which is rigging, which is art, whatever it is, but you may not have the skills of business management, and that's okay. I don't expect that, but like, you need to start learning that if you want to be a business. There's fundamentals to that. There's way to treat people, you know, and it's just crazy, like, that there's so many freelancers out there that just don't hold themselves to a little bit higher of a standard almost, you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway. Thank you for listening to my tech talk. Just kidding. Yeah. I just, like, I understand waiting a long time for, like, certain commissions, you know, don't get me wrong. Like, I get it. You've got other things to do. You've got a life. I know it takes me a while to do some things, you know, but I don't know. Just the blatant disrespect of, like, time and money, you know, it's not cool. It doesn't sit right with me. So, Excuse me, I burped, sorry. Oh, damn, that was deep. I'm trying to cover my mouth so you don't hear it as bad, but that would have been really bad. Anyway, sorry. I have another story that I would talk about, but it's a really long story. So I will save that for another time. But yeah, these have been, I think, like some standout interactions that I've had with like commissions, stuff like that. So thank you for listening, and if you've gone through something similar, I'm sorry. It's not fun, and I do hope that, you know, if nothing else, like you've learned a little bit more patience maybe, and you've learned, like how I have, really making sure that you're checking all the boxes when you're looking at the people's TOS, when you're looking at their page, when you're looking at the way that they treat people. You know, you would decide, make your own adult decision to whether or not to pursue a commission with someone. So yeah, I think even though all of these are very negative, and they were very much like hair-pulling events, some of them, and get me heated when I rethink about it, I think at the end of the day, I am happy that I went through some of them, because it really did like reinforce how I wanted to approach commissions. And it's funny because like I'll say that about a lot of things with like VTubing, like dealing with certain people in the community reinforced the way that I wanted to approach like things like DMs, or things like drama or whatever, or just friendships in general, in quote unquote friendships in general in this space. You know, like it, even though they were really difficult situations, they taught me more about myself. They taught me more about the kind of people that are out there in this community. And at the end of the day, you know, I know that like it's all gonna hopefully be for a better me and a better overall experience from you know, how I handle things in the community and stuff like that. So yeah. And also like taught me a lot of patience, because I'm a very impatient person. So so yeah, anyway, sorry, let me catch up a little bit on chat here. Thank you to everybody who's listening as well. And thanks to all that stopped by, listen to my crazy stuff. But yeah. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the raid, by the way, Ridley. I'm so sorry I'm so sorry that I didn't get to say hi to you. You know, I don't have I would get so heated, and then I don't have like any alerts on, so then I don't know that's happening. But anyway, I'm never commissioning. Yeah, no, legit. Yeah. Serenity says, transparency in that case would be nice. They may not like their own designs, but sharing with the client, they may find that the client quite likes them. No, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And then the manager thing was really weird too. I agree. You forgot that Ack was on the toilet this whole time? Hell yeah, Ack's on the toilet. Anyway, hello Tim, how are you doing? Model the chat box. What else? Almost everything, I swear to God. Everyone out here in the art world having more vacations than I've had in my life. No, real shit. They on like the no, I'm not gonna say that. All right. Yeah, we should be artists so we can take vacations. Real. Sounds like the recent Twitter drama. It does, doesn't it? It sucks. You know, it's not, yeah, it sucks. And it sucks too. So like a funny side note with my model artist, right as I started announcing like that I was re-debuting and who my model artist was, they started like getting into drama. They started getting into some controversial drama stuff, and it was not good stuff to be getting into, y'all. Like they were talking about like someone brought up, I don't know who it was, but someone brought up, and I'm not going down this rabbit hole because I don't want anything to do with this, but I guess like my model artist had unfortunately made the mistake of like saying something along the lines of like how it's the reason why they stay within their like color palette for skin tones is because the other skin tones of darker nature are more difficult to do. And like the way that they phrased it was not tasteful, I think, and that blew up. And but the weird thing was that they tweeted that like 2 years prior, like in 2021 or something like that, and then all of a sudden it blew up again. And so then they started tweeting about it and getting all riled up about it right as I'm announcing like my re-debut and that they're my model artist. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Please don't do this to me. Like I can't, okay? I don't want to be affiliated with that, okay? Give Kōri a damn break, damn straight. Okay, please. Anyway, they tried to fill all their openings without planning it out, like me with deadlines, for real. Yeah, no, I get it. Like, a lot of people, you know, this is your hustle. You gotta get, you know, the grinds every day. You gotta get the job done. But it doesn't feel good, you know, to see the way that they're handling it sometimes. Like, I know you gotta make rent, don't get me wrong, but you still don't treat people like that, you know? Anyway, that's a good business for us. We can be freelance artist babysitters for people who commission them. Oh my god, imagine, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. That's why you should purchase Kōri's commission. She's very customer oriented and detailed with your order. Be sure to check out her available comms here. Damn straight. Yep, I am open for commissions. Thank you very much. I do have to close it in like a week though, but just FYI. I got my commission done in no time and even got D's nutted at the same stream. Hey, that's quality work, all right? That's quality work, Tim. Thank you. That'll be added to the testimonials. 10 out of 10. Thank you. A glowing review, yep. Timmy's Big Brains Management Services LLC. Damn straight. Hell yeah. You have like spam at the front door. Like it's like they have to take a spam shot before they can sign the NDA or whatever. I'm just kidding. Anyway. Yeah, so thanks everyone for hanging out. I enjoyed talking about this. I hope you all enjoyed as well. It's not obviously like I appreciate y'all hearing me like rant about stuff like that. And I'm sorry that it's kind of like one of those like streams where I've had to rant, but I hope that you know that you're not alone if you have experienced it. I mean, being a freelancer is difficult since there's a lack of management. Exactly. Thank you, Thunder. And it's true. Like, I understand that, you know, and that's why, like, I don't hate the people that I've talked about today. And, like, I understand, like, you know, I don't always mind being that person that's like, hey, just checking in. Hey, just checking in. Hey, just checking in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind being that person, but I don't like, the ones that I really get under my skin are the people that lie. Like, blatantly lie. And I've had that happen many times. I've had people lie about, like, oh, my PC isn't working, my Wi-Fi shut down, and, like, I can't do anything, and, like, oh, I'm gonna get it to you by tomorrow. I hate that. I hate that word. Like, if you don't know, then just say, I'll get it to you within a time range, or something like that. But then live up to that. You know, how many times did I talk about today where someone said, I'm going to send it to you by tomorrow. I'm going to send it to you by next week. And it was 2 weeks after that, and I still haven't received anything. Like, I try to be understanding, because I do understand, like, you've got other clients, you got other shit to do, you got your life, okay? You're managing yourself, okay? Except for that one who actually had a manager, apparently. They both needed management, let's be real. But, you know, like, I get it. So, like, even after they say, I'll send it to you by tomorrow, I'll wait 48 hours before, or 72 hours before saying something else. Except they were supposed to send it within 24. You know what I mean? Like, I do try to give that leeway. I really do. And I do understand that some things come up. And so, you know, like, I usually don't start getting aggressive or, like, more pushy until it's, like, the third or fourth time where they say they're gonna do something and they don't do it. Because at that point, I'm like, okay, so you're just a habitual liar then. Like, you're just going, you don't care how I feel. All right, so now I just have to manage you because you do not care about how I feel. You know what I mean? And I don't expect you to care about how I feel. I just expect you to respect my time, my money. Okay? That's all I'm asking. And you're not respecting that. So now I gotta force you to respect that. And at the same time, I'm trying to respect yours. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's something refreshing about an artist telling you, oh, I couldn't work on the commission you paid for, and we agreed on a date for because my ass is on vacation right now. You know, at least be honest. You know what I mean? At least be honest. Like, hey, I actually can't do it because, like, I'm going on vacation. And it's like, I don't know. I guess, like, they want to avoid that, like, conflict, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, you're just gonna have more conflicts the more that you lie, bro. Come on, now. Vacation with your money, that's true, too. Thank you, Serenity. Yeah, that's also true. Oh, my God. For something I paid for months ago, like, come on now. I don't know. Like, why would you take more commissions if you know that you're gonna go on vacation? I don't know, but anyway, there you go. It's my stories. Thank you for listening. I appreciate y'all. I did not feel well earlier today, and I feel better now, so thank you. Maybe I just needed to, like, get my anger out. I don't know. So I couldn't meet your deadline. Your payment helped me meet my goal to escape the country. Can you send payment for the next EP in advance? I can work on it soon. Oh my god, I shit you not. I never told this to y'all, but there was one artist that I dealt with a long time ago that basically they ended up like refunding me everything because they never gave me anything, even though they said they would. But basically they asked me for Uber money. They DM'd me like one random Sunday afternoon and was like, hey Kōri, like, can you send me some like money for my Uber? Like, I'm trying to get home and like I don't have enough money. Can you like send me some? I was like, what? Oh my god. I don't know. That literally happened. I'm not shitting you. I bet you I could find the DM. I don't know. I'm kind of curious now. I don't know if I still have it. I don't remember what their username is now, but they went on to be like a bigger artist too, which was just funny. So I'm like, oh okay, I know who you are. Don't worry, I ain't forget. I don't know if I deleted it. To be honest, it's a while ago. Oh my god, this was okay, no. Maybe is it? I'm trying to remember their name. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember their name. I don't remember their name at all. I just know if I saw. Oh wait, maybe if I search it. Let me try searching it. Oops. Oh, I don't think I have it. Or do I? Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, they never sent me, like, I bought a package from them, they never sent me any of it. They only sent me, like, 3 things. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Oh my god, it's literally, it's like, glitching out or something like that. Hold on. Yeah, it's so sad. They became, like, a bigger, like, artist, and I'm like, oof. Oh, I wonder if they deleted it. Oh, that's so funny if they did. I bet you they did. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just not here anymore. Okay, so I don't think Twitter saved it. Or they deleted it. I don't know. But they did ask. I remember specifically them asking me for a fucking Uber money, which was just so funny to me. Oh my god, yeah, it's like deleted or something. I don't know. But anyway, I can't find it. Sorry. It's gone forever. You could delete DMs? I mean, you could. I don't know if it deletes on both ends, but I mean, you can, I guess. I don't know. I've never actually used it. I've only like seen like there is like I've looked at like the 3 bubbles and then you can like see that apparently that you can delete your DM, but it's like still I think it still stays for like them. I don't know. I have no clue. I just like one day accidentally like clicked. Oh wait, is it that? No, wait. Oh, it says delete message for you. Okay, never mind. So you can't delete it for both. I don't know. I think it's just a really old DM. Like it's from like 2021. So I think Twitter is just not loading it for whatever reason. Anyway, but yeah, they asked for Uber money. Sheesh! Exactly. Anyway. Okay, so that's it for me today. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for saying another great podcast plopped into the bowl and ready to be flushed into the masses. Damn straight, certainly. Let's go ahead and do that anyway, right now. Flush until lay down. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. The VOD will be up on YouTube, but not on Twitch. So if you do want to check out the VOD, it'll be there. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat and I'm gonna chill and I'm gonna poop. But yeah, thank you everybody. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you on Monday if I don't see you sooner. On the Discord, we're doing Nicolas Cage movie night. Otherwise, next week, what am I doing? I literally talked about this earlier and I totally forgot. Okay, sorry. Yum. I'm playing Nier. I'm also gonna collab next week, and then I'm doing the merch signing on next Saturday as well, doing a hand cam. So I'm excited for that. Oh god damn it, I unplugged my freaking headphone. Anyway, good night everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. What in Tarantino?